Happy Sunday morning. Well, we just had a small leak here in the barn. Really, people who do things half-assed. So the trap and the sink in here, I was cleaning something and all of a sudden it started to leak. And I was like, oh my God, what is that? Well, come to find out that when they put it in, it has a stop where the screw part goes in, and you only hand tighten the trap because that's where it gets clogged, and so you untighten it, you clean it out, and put it back in. That's my husband leaving, or coming back. I think he's leaving. Anyway, they didn't have us. There's like a stop on it that keeps. So you have the pipe, and then you've got the kind of like a clamp, but it's plastic, and that's what you hand screw and hand tighten on. Well, there's a stop on it so that it fits. Well, this one doesn't have a stop on one of the attachments, so there you go. And the sink is just set in. It wasn't set, like attached to the counter or tighten to the counter, or even a little bit of acrylic to seal it so it doesn't move as much. So I guess I sat something heavy in there. I had 2 full buckets of water in there the other day, and it must have just loosened it enough so that it started to leak. So this morning when I came in to start doing things, all of a sudden it's leaking all over the place. And you pulled your milk back up. You need to let your milk down. So I pulled the trap off and I cleaned it out and I tried to put it back on, but I didn't have any plumber's tape out in the barn. So I had to call my husband and he came out. And he did the same thing I did. Who the hell does this kind of plumbing? So, well, they did here. So I was out examining the other barn yesterday. The fencing isn't bad. They have a funky gate, which I, of course, will not have a funky gate like that. I'll put a real gate on it that I can attach. Because I don't plan on having any little goats over there that could get out. Just Artie and another weather to keep him company so he's not all alone. Which is going to kind of suck because then I got to go to 2 different barns. But I'm off all summer and I'm only planning on it being a summer, fall, spring kind of thing once the snow's gone. Once the snow hits and it gets really cold, he'll have to come back into this barn because there's more animals in this to keep everybody warm. So this is like the winter barn, and then I can put them out to pasture, do all that stuff. Like the horses. So when the snow was really deep, they definitely were not out roaming in the 7 acres they have. They're like, no, not doing it. I don't blame them. The snow would have been up to their bellies. They did have outdoor access all year round though. And I know ghosts like to go stand in the sun when it wasn't blowing really hard in their run-in. So they have a run-in that's enclosed on 3 sides. Then they have the arena that's completely enclosed except for the one door that goes through the run-in. And then I have about 7 acres of pasture. Which right now is kind of mucky, swampy. But they're out there chewing on fresh grass instead of eating the hay. Hey, Mama. Last night I wormed everybody. Trimmed up. See, whose nails did I get yesterday? I got Evie's done. Trimmed her other foot up because she was still a little sore. And I know I talk about trimming hooves all the time. It's because it's something I do all the time. Because I don't like... I'm not an aggressive hoof trimmer. Because I don't care what anybody says. When they say, oh, if it bleeds, you screwed up. okay? If I'm cutting my toenails and my toenails start to bleed, I screwed up. When I had a pedicure one time, I've had 2 pedicures in my life, no, maybe 3. 3, I think. Wasn't happy about getting it done. I'm really picky about my nails. I have this nail thing about people touching my nails and my teeth. But anyway, first 2 times was great. The 3rd time, she cut something and made me bleed. She cut it so that I literally yelled, ow, and everybody in the place looked at me. Never been back for a pedicure. I could use a pedicure. I really could. But no, she made me bleed. I don't want to do another one. Do you? Would you like it if I made you bleed? You wouldn't like it. You'd be mad at me. Yes. And by rightly so, you should be. Should not be bleeding from things like that. If it's bleeding, you are too invasive. And invasive is a word that doctors know to say they're going to get inside you in a very uncomfortable manner. Would you eat these? Be good roughage. You like the pods to the soybeans, you do. I had some edamame yesterday. There's a little bit of salt on it too. Well, she likes the soybean pods. Good, because I'm going to plant some soybeans this year. Yeah, I'm going to plant some, grow our own. Yeah, it's really good protein. I can't give you all of them. She says, yes, you can. Oh, yeah. Okay, would you like some melon? I can cut up some melon real quick. Let me cut up some watermelon for you, love bug. And I have a knife out here. It's an okay knife. It's not a great kitchen knife. It'll cut. It's not super. It's not dull or anything. But it's hard to tell which side is the sharp side because it's just a plain black kind of. Not a very expensive. I had a really nice little black knife, and my husband bought me knives and threw away my kitchen knives. And I had to explain to him that you never, ever throw away a cook's favorite knife, and he did. I was very mad at him. So I made him buy me a new favorite knife. Because the ones he bought, I have a little one, and then I have big ones. Okay, I need a middle-sized one. A middle-sized one, Mama. Not a little paring knife. All right, this is it. You'll have the runs. You don't care, do you? All right, let's go see your daughter. Give her a little bit. And she is not going to be happy that she barely got some licorice goat treats in there. Would you like some goat treats? Oh my goodness. You would? Come on, Mama. Come on. Oh, I got to get that roofing on there. Come on, there's nothing there. Come on. This way. This way, Mom. I gotta go get Autumn. I'll be back. Get down. Get down. Just did your feet. You're still looking like it could be a little bit more. All right, let me go get Autumn. Give the girls some grain. Rain, 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 rain. Where's my little one? Two of these. Two of these. Oh, Clyde, you're not supposed to go in there. Mama, let's go inside. In the barn. Up you go. Clyde. And you be quiet while you're in here, right? So we give her a little treat. before we can start. Would you like some of this? No, not right now. You're like, no, I really want this stuff first, and then later you can get me that. Chickens. See, I leave the door open so the goats can come down and get in the barn, in the office by themselves. But that also allows Clyde and his posse to come in. Got my Rhode Island Red, a meat hen, my blue girl, that's Bonnie. She's a olive egger, which is a mixture of a Easter egger and a brown chicken that lays kind of greenish olive colored eggs. I do believe 2 of her babies are this beautiful, what you would call chocolate color, with a mixture of the blue and the red. I had chocolate Orpingtons when I lived in Washington. I had just about every breed known to man. I had gone to this like rare breeder, drove like an hour and a half, crossed the Narrows Bridge to specific eggs for specific types of chickens. I wanted some rare breed chickens. And what happened, Clyde, is that I got them, I incubated them. None of the eggs I got were the chicks I was supposed to get. I ended up getting, what did I get? I got, man, I shouldn't have done that. I ended up getting some Sussex chickens. They're really pretty. The pattern almost looks like little hearts. That's not what I had planned on getting. So I don't know what happened when she got the eggs, because we went to her pens and she got eggs. Supposedly she got the eggs out of those pens, but they were all mixed up. I think what happened was they forgot, and she just gave me whatever eggs her hands landed on. So, I mean, you can tell a little bit, like a leghorn gives you a white egg. So if somebody said, oh, I have leghorn eggs for you to hatch, and they're all brown eggs, you know that it's caca. But these eggs were brown eggs, so I ended up with a whole bunch of assortments. The last chickens I had were blue Ostelors. Beautiful chickens. I got my first egg when I had to leave them. Oh, because of U-Haul. Alright, you know what? There's the problem with U-Haul. They are not a reliable company. If they guarantee you, I think, if they guarantee you a 27-foot moving van, and then they shorten it to a 21-foot moving van, 8 hours before you're supposed to pick up said moving van, that they should have to pay to ship the rest of your stuff that didn't fit on it. But they don't, because they have a monopoly, and you are locked in. We had someone moving into our house. We had to be out. So they have you. And we moved rural into pods. What we should have done was taken our friend up on the offer and buy their trailer and loaded all that stuff onto a trailer and pulled it. Because this was during COVID, so there were no trailers available. There were none you could buy. I tried to find a horse trailer to buy. Couldn't find one. There were none, so we had to pay for the horses to be transported. That was only like $4,000. Would have bought me a decent soft trailer. I made a really good down payment on it. I don't think it's going to get any better. You know, we live like in a recreation. I have a question for you guys though. So we keep talking about how we're not going to have gas. Nothing's going to be gas powered. Everything's going to be electric. So does that mean there'll be no more snowmobiles and no more four-wheelers and no more... Are there electric battery-operated motorcycles? Are there battery-operated tractors? How about battery operated trains? How about semis, battery operated semi-trucks? I mean, they have a hard time going up the mountains. As a diesel. I mean, how much can you even power a, I mean, how much energy does it take to go across the mountains? And once you go across, you have to come back down. You certainly don't want to be coming down and lose all energy, all power to your vehicle. I mean, they do have runaway ramps, but I personally would rather not ever have to be in a vehicle to need to use a runaway ramp. No, I don't want to. I don't want to, Autumn. You look better since I wormed you. You don't look pregnant anymore. And I put it on the calendar so I could pay attention. Yes, everyone has been wormed. Except for you chickens. You're just making a mess, Clyde. Bonnie, you are the bossiest chicken ever. Don't pop at me. I put the babies into a stall. It's time for them to get out of the office. Only because I'm going to be bringing the new baby chicks out here. And they have a couple of weeks before the rest of my 20 meat birds get picked up. I think I picked them up in 2 weeks. Yeah, not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday I pick up the 20 meat birds I ordered. There's $100. Doesn't mean you have to scream back at her. You guys are ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Alright, Mama. Did you have a good snack? Did you have a good snack? Did you? What would you like? Oh, would you like some of these soybean pods? Your sissy really liked them. You want to try one? What do you think? Are they good? Did you like them? Did you like them? Well, pull your head out. I'll give you a couple more. Come on, sweetie. Honey bunch. Honey bunch. You are a little spoiled. You are just a little spoiled. Yes, you are. You're my sweet girl, though, aren't you? You're a sweet girl. I don't have any more. She's in no hurry to get off. Are you in a hurry to get down? You really don't need to eat all that. Just look at how fast she's eating now because she knows she's almost done. Yeah? Is that true? I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about my sweet girl. I am. Feel good? Does that feel good? Here, I get it. Here, honey. Let me get that for you. We're supposed to be getting out. I have to go separate junk this morning. I have tomato plants to replant. They're getting too big. I planted these red, they're long beans. They're from China. And I put them in the thing to sprout. And they're like 5 inches tall already. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with them. I think I have some tall pots I could put them in. Because I got to get them out of that thing before their roots grow too big. And I can't get them out. And I do have some stuff I need to repot for the garden. And is it next week or the week after? It's supposed to be our last frost date. So, we should be getting there. I'm ready to get going, but it's so muddy. So muddy mucky. I was talking to the people that I get the hay from, and I'd driven by another house. I used to drive their kids when I drove the school bus out there, and I was like, yeah, they've got both their garden plots all plowed up. And they're like, she looked at me, she goes, mine's underwater. I said, mine's just mud. I mean, literally, there's absolutely no way I could plow that right now. I've got a couple spots that I've got raised beds. And I've got where I moved stuff last year that I could put stuff into. But they're kind of shady areas because I plan on cutting down some trees. Ready, Mama? Yeah? Alright, let's get you going here. Let's give you some melon. Yes. Because I still have to feed my little babies. I feed them already. And I need to give everybody. Did you smell those treats? Yes? Alright guys, I'm going to let you go. And I'm going to get my chores done. Have a good Sunday.